Hi, I'm Michael Riedel from iHeart Radio Broadway with my Smash co-star, Katharine
That's
McPhee.
right.
Now, we haven't been together since Smash.
It's been like 5 years, I think.
I know, but I still, and of course I would say a cameo. You were
Right.
the star. I still run in airports. People come up to me and they say, I love Smash.
Well, that means they must have really watched it a bunch of times.
Very closely.
It's a pretty good memory.
Do you
no,
get
you
that
did have
too?
a prominent role in Smash. Oh yeah, I mean, I get it all the time. It's kind of like been an extension of an American Idol type thing where I still get to this day people will come up to me and say, I voted for you. But yeah, I mean, Smash almost like trumped the whole like Idol following because still has so much excitement. I mean, Megan Hilty just was seeing the show across the street from Waitress, and I said, "Oh, come after the show and come hang out backstage." And like we took a picture, and every time we post a picture together, we're together, people just get so crazy. We love it though. We think it's so cool. We love that people. Are
Well,
excited.
trumping Smash is your star turn in Waitress, and I must say I saw you the other night, and you brought a quiet dignity to the part of this woman struggling to make a life independently for herself that I found very moving.
Thank you. That's a nice. I've not heard it explained that way before, but that's a nice. I think I can. I can accept that. Yeah, I think that's probably one of the traits that I like to bring to Jenna. Yeah.
What attracted you to the part?
I'm so much of it. I mean, originally, and actually, I'm echoing what Jessie Mueller originally said was that she was originally drawn to the music.
By Sarah Bareilles.
By Sarah Bareilles, and it was the same thing. I love Broadway. I love musicals. I always have, but I'm someone who's kind of out of the loop a lot of times with Broadway and what's happening because I've grew up in LA, and like, I just always feel like I'm out of the loop, and so. When I watched the Tonys that one Sunday, Jessie Mueller and Sarah were doing Used to Be Mine from, I was like, wow, this seems like a really great musical. So I was completely unaware that this musical even existed, but it was the music that drew me in. And then I started listening to the soundtrack obsessively, and then they offered me to do the show. So it was like, then when I was reading the script and going to see the show, I was even more obsessed with it. So to answer your question, though, specifically, what drew me to this role, just beyond the music, what I would say is this woman who is imperfect, but she's kind, not to quote the lyrics, but she is someone who kind of feels trapped in her relationship and feels like her future is kind of limited with what she has in front of her, and how she manages to find her own inner strength to get out of it. And I think I can relate to that. I mean, I think I've been in relationships before where maybe I shouldn't have been in, and I felt like I was in them for specific reasons, and I felt, there was something for me to learn about myself and the mistakes that I've made. Like, I love that all these characters in this show are so imperfect, which we as humans are. They make really bad choices and they recover from them in a really beautiful, dignified way. And I really think that that's a beautiful human story that I connect to.
Well, one of the things that's always moved me about the movie and the musical Waitress, too, and I think this does happen in life, when you are in a relationship, and in your case, the character's married,
Yeah.
the fear of being alone can paralyze you
Sure.
from getting out of something that is not working.
Yeah. I mean, I had that. I struggled with that fear a lot when I was in my early 20s, the fear of being alone. Like, I was one of those kids that always, not kids, one of those girls that, like, from elementary school, like, had my little boyfriend and, like, hold hands and stuff. I was very innocent, but I always had, like, a relationship. I like relationships. I connect to that. But there is something, when you dig deeper, there is sometimes I've really grown, but there has been relationships that I've been in that probably I stayed in longer than I needed to, and it's amazing when you get to a place where you like being in a relationship and you want to be in a relationship, but you don't have to be in the relationship, and that's a really like, I would never go back into my early 20s. I love being.
And in the case of Jenna, it's her baking talent, her talent to mix pies, that allows her in the end to break free. Was that your talent as a performer, as a singer, as an actress? Was that allowed you to move
Sure,
away?
that's always been an amazing outlet for me. Like, going to work having a job has always been something that has been a huge drive for me. I mean, I'm only on this show for 2 more weeks, and it's been such an amazing journey. But I'm already thinking like, okay, I'm going to take some time off, but what's the next thing? You know, what's the next journey going to be? Because it is a huge part of my outlet and expression as a person and human that makes me feel good about myself. And yeah, like Jenna used baking as an outlet to get out of her despair. And yeah, I mean, I think I've had many times where like I'd go to the set of Smash and or the last TV show I was on, Scorpion, like whatever it was, or going to the recording studio. It's an escape, you know, and it's a healthy escape too.
Yes, there are other things you can do that aren't so healthy.
It's productive.
Very good. Now, I must ask you, there has been a lot of talk. Our friends who did Smash, Bob Greenblatt, and Mark Shaman, Scott Whitman, they all want to do a stage version, a musical version of Smash. Is that something you would be interested in doing?
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's funny because for a couple years after Smash, we were talking about doing Bombshell the Musical.
Right.
And I was like, people would ask me as if I have some sort of inside information. I'm like, listen, I'd love to be a producer on it, but I'm not, so I don't have any
information.
You're
not Steven Spielberg, one of the producers of Smash.
I don't have the information. But, you know, and I always kind of thought like, oh, the music was so great that Mark and Scott did. I mean, really, that's why people want them to do it.
Yeah.
The music was just great on the show. So the Bombshell musical, like, I don't really think that I would I'm not really like the perfect Marilyn, to be honest, like in terms of like height and just looks, and I'm really not. Like that was what was the whole fun thing about the show.
Right.
But when they said, oh, like a stage version of Smash, like what the TV show was in its entirety.
Not the musical that was in the show
about
like the
Marilyn
Monroe.
Like, you know, there's so many ways you could make that, you know, they've actually, I don't know that they've ever done that, like a musical within a musical on Broadway is kind of cool. It's really clever. But they better hurry because I'm just getting older. So Karen Cartwright, I'm going to have to play Karen Cartwright's mom.
I know. Well, you can play Angelica, the Angelica Houston part.
I'll play the tough producer. That's right.
You would be good at that. That would be fun.
Would.
And that was a good part.
It's never too late. So
I always said the best non-musical theater song was "Let Me Be Your Star."
Yeah.
Not in a show, but when you hear that song, you think that is musical theater in its
totally.
bones.
It was when they first sent it to us. I didn't even know Megan yet. I was getting ready to fly to New York to shoot the pilot, and they said this. I was like, wow, they really nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God too, because I mean, it only lasted 2 seasons anyway, but that was for different reasons. It had nothing to do with the music not being great.
No.
So
let me ask you. You said you've always loved Broadway shows. What was the first show you saw as a kid, or you heard, or you were in that really hooked you on this business?
Well, my mom's a voice teacher, but she also did a lot of regional theater in California, so she did Showboat a lot. So I think that was one of my first musicals that I ever saw. And she played Julie, and I loved the music, and it was kind of a pretty adult show for kids. I remember kind of getting squirmy and not being able to sit for that long. But yeah, I remember seeing that show over and over again. Amanda La Mancha, she did a lot. And then she did take my sister and myself to London. We saw Cats. I remember thinking that was an interesting musical. They're making it into a movie.
They are indeed.
I got the audition for it, but I didn't audition for it.
What part would you play?
I don't know. One of the. I don't even know the show that well.
Well, the plot is kind of...
They're never going to hire me for it. I didn't even bother auditioning.
I saw it as a kid, too, though. But what was great about Cats as a kid was, remember, the theater was totally dark, and it begins, and then the cats in the eyes are jumping around.
I mean,
thrilling.
I remember thinking it was entertaining, I think. I'm not sure, though.
It's a hot plot.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite musical. But,
no.
I won't be playing those parts. What I'll say musicals. I think like in my first Broadway show here in New York was Les Mis.
Oh,
yeah, and it was with a really beautiful cast. I remember being like mesmerized by the cast
and that beautiful music.
The music is just incredible. Yeah.
Any shows that you would like to do? Sort of classic Broadway shows. They revive a lot of great shows. Any parts you'd love to?
Yeah. I mean, there's so. I think Sweet Charity would love it, but it's kind of not really the story is not really.
I suppose in the #MeToo era.
Yeah, it's not really like they'd have to really kind of reinvent it or something like that. But I love the music.
I love that song. Where Am I Going?
Yeah,
And what will I find? What's in that grab bag that I call my mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cy Coleman and
Cy Coleman.
Dorothy Fields. Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably 30 other musicals that I could. You're putting me on the spot right
It's
now,
all right.
so I have to really think it through.
I could see you in Carousel.
And playing Jesse Miller's part,
Yeah.
or I didn't see it because I've been doing my own waitress shows every night, and I've never been able to. I was never here long enough in rehearsal process to skip out to see another show. So I love Jessie Mueller, so anything she does, I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll do that after she's done. But I would have loved to have seen it, yeah.
And would you consider doing an original musical, something that someone
I
has
would
written for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to. I don't know what's out there. I've got to, once the show's over, I can kind of put some feelers out. I really don't know what my next step is going to be. I mean, I was on a TV show for 4 years, and we didn't really know whether it was going to get picked up or not. And most people actually thought it was going to get picked up. And so now it's like a whole new. I got to stay and do this longer, which has been great. And yeah, so I'll see what the next. Like, I don't know if I'm going to come do another show here in New York, or if I'm going to try and find another TV gig or what. So it's just so.
Well, apparently you can do what you want to do. Why not? Do the
Well,
television,
I'm
pilot
gonna keep
into a
my
Broadway
fingers
show,
crossed that I get
and an album.
Yeah, I would probably only make another record with like one pretty great producer. So I have one in mind, but
He's a pretty good one.
He's a pretty
David
good
Foster.
one. That's right.
he's good.
And I mean, because quite honestly, like, I don't really have a desire to make records anymore.
Why?
I don't think I'm very good at it. I really don't. Like, I don't. I've looked at like my fans might be feeling like I'm insulting them, or
No, but
and
it's
for people
honest.
who've bought, like, I've like just reflected over the years that I've made records, and I'm not saying I'm not going to. I could have I've never really. I've loved certain things about it, but I don't think I've ever had the right, like, combination of everything to make it like something I really want to do time and time again. David Foster, and I really don't speak about my personal life really, but he really is so, like, he is the best producer he was one of my first producers I ever worked with when I came off Idol. Mm-hmm. He produced my Rainbow record, which, I got known from doing it because Simon Cowell asked me to sing it in one of the finales, and then he produced it. But, when you work with like someone who's just that amazing, but anyway, I'm rambling. I don't know. I don't like feel that. Maybe if it was like a big band record or something like that,
would be good.
I would
Swing
love,
or something like that.
Yeah, then I would really. But I guess I don't have any desire to like chase pop or be like a pop. Like, I don't have any desire to do
Maybe
that
you're an
anymore.
actress at heart. You would rather be doing.
Yeah,
acting.
I really like. I love being on the stage doing musicals, and I love being an actor. I do. I just don't love being a recording artist. Maybe I feel it's too vulnerable. Like, it's like, hi, this is me. Like, I'm selling me. Whereas I go in for an audition, I'm selling me. I'm the product, but I get to play somebody else. So it feels different. Like, I am supplying the vessel, but like, I don't have to go and promote me.
Right.
I'm promoting the performance.
Right.
Not like
And there's something very
my record. Like,
yeah. And there's something
so-
very satisfying about becoming somebody else
Yeah.
on stage.
Yeah, it really is. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But I love to sing. Like, I just don't know that I'm meant to really be a recording artist. I don't know. I'm open though.
Original Broadway show, you're on the cast album. That you would do.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, I love recording. I love singing. I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm very good at I'm not a very good recording artist. I don't know. Like, promoting.
Very debatable, Catherine, I must say. Very debatable.
Thanks.
All right, my last question for you. We like to ask this of our
Should I
guests.
see my little dog hiding back here?
Yes, of course. Hello.
She's my butt warmer.
You had two cute little dogs when we were doing Smash.
I know.
But no longer with us.
They're no longer here.
Wilma, right?
Wilma. She's
What-
a little adopted dog.
Very adorable.
Anyway, sorry, I got distracted.
We like to ask our guests here on iHeart Radio Broadway your Broadway playlist, 4 or 5 songs from Broadway shows that have significance for you in your life.
Sure. So I'd say No One Is Alone from Into the Woods.
Beautiful song.
I love my mom I mean, who doesn't love Stephen Sondheim? There's something wrong with you if you don't like Stephen Sondheim. But my mom always played tons of Stephen Sondheim records, either from like the shows or stuff that Barbra Streisand covered, you know. So I'm very familiar with, but that song to me is just so, you know,
Mother Cannot Guide You.
Sometimes people leave you halfway through the wood. Others may deceive you. It's just
Beautiful song.
they're just incredibly gorgeous lyrics. I love Being Alive.
Oh yeah, Company.
Company.
Yeah.
I think that's just melodically, lyrically. Isn't that Stephen Sondheim as well?
Indeed,
yeah,
it is.
I just love Stephen Sondheim.
Can't go wrong with Steve.
I would say, what's another? I love Jason Robert Brown stuff that he's done from like last 5 years.
Oh yeah, very good.
I like sad songs, I guess. Jamie is over and Jamie is gone. I would love to do like a concert of Jason Robert Brown
that's interesting.
songs.
You could do the last 5 years now that I think about it.
I could.
Right.
I'm like the perfect age for it too.
Do you tap any upbeat tap songs?
I do. I used to be a very good tapper.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very rusty now, but I could get into shape. for
Side
it.
by Side from Company.
Yeah.
The big tap number.
That's right. Oh, and I love. Okay, so speaking of tap number, another song would probably be "Gimme Gimme" from Thoroughly Modern Millie.
Oh
'cause
sure, yeah.
I just loved that musical. It was just so classic, amazing. Like if I could find an original Broadway show like that to star in, I would be living. Like Karen Cartwright would be living her Broadway. I mean, I'm pretty comfy, cozy here in the stage of Waitress, but like add in a little like Broadway spicy dance number,
Some jazz hands.
some jazz hands. Then I'm really doing the Broadway.
Well, you know, you would be
everything.
perfect for Chicago.
Yes, I would. I would love to do. I mean, but Chicago's been going for so long
No, I
that I
know,
just
yeah.
kind of feel like
We need to find you today's equivalent of Bob Fosse.
Yeah.
To do a musical for you.
Yeah, that would be
Perfect.
great.
All right,
Did
Catherine.
I name enough musicals?
It's
I
fine.
think-
Yes.
Okay, good.
Thanks for being my guest on iHeartRadio Broadway.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.